back to Phantastic Feast. I'm your host, Thuy Phan. Right now we have everything set up to make madeleines, and if you've never had them, you should try them because they are a delectable little treat, and it's like a little cake that you put in either a seashell or this is the more traditional shape of the madeleine, and they're just scrumptious little tea cakes, I would say, and they go really well with tea and coffee. You will need 3/4 cup of flour. You need 1/3 of a cup of sugar, and then you need 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And then you want to do a light whisk on that. You're going to need 6 tablespoons of butter. You want to melt it and let it cool for a little bit, so that's what we'll do now. You'll need 2 eggs, and you do this in a separate bowl. 1/3 of a cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. You also need a tablespoon of honey. Now we will need 2 tablespoons of lemon zest. And then you just whisk this together and make sure it's smooth. Now you will add your wet ingredients to your dry ingredients, but you don't want to overmix it. You want to do it just enough so they're incorporated, and then you add the butter to it as well. Now that's all incorporated, you want to put it into I put it in a Ziploc bag so then you can just snip it off and then you can pipe it after you've refrigerated at least 3 hours or overnight preferably. So this is our madeleine mold. You can either butter it or use a non-cooking spray, and then you want to dust it with flour so then it doesn't stick. What you want to do next is start piping the dough, and since you did this in the resealable bag, you just snip it, and this becomes kind of your piping bag. And what you want to do now is you'll start piping it. You put it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 8 minutes until it's slightly browned, and a peak should form actually on the top of it. Ooh, smells really good. Okay. And this is your madeleines. You know you've done it right when they've kind of puffed up like that. Yum. Okay, so now that they've cooled down, we will dust them with powdered sugar. Let's try it out. It's perfect.